Welcome to the Douglas County Chamber's Greystone Power Luncheon and Happy Valentine's Day. I'm Alan Smith with Extreme Images and your 2012 Chairman of the Chamber Board. Before we get started today's program, I would like to invite our sponsor, Bill Pinto, President of Hardin Construction, to come forward, please.
Well, good afternoon. I appreciate the opportunity to join all of you and the opportunity for Hardin Construction Company to sponsor today's luncheon. We feel privileged to be doing business in the Douglasville, Douglas County community through our work on the downtown conference center across the street that way. It's an impressive project, and we truly understand the center's role in helping the community meet its needs, as well as its importance to the area's economy. We're honored to work with you and to be a part of your team. A little bit about Hardin Construction, if I could. 2011 marked our 65th anniversary. We were founded in Atlanta. We've been helping communities like yours grow and realize the potential that you have. Atlanta-based, we have offices in Austin, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Orlando, and Tampa, Florida. The kind of work that we do, all types of vertical building projects, offices, retail, mixed use, university and college classrooms, student housing, with a specialization in public assembly facilities. One of the reasons that we were very interested in this project. And our public assembly resume portfolio goes back to the original Georgia World Congress Center in 1974 that we actually developed and built for the state of Georgia. We've worked in 29 states, the Caribbean, and Mexico City. We're particularly proud of our record in the green construction area. We have more than 20 projects that are LEED certified, and we have more than 30% of our operations personnel that are LEED certified professionals. With a specific focus on your conference center, we're proud to point to the Cobb Energy Performing Arts Center, which we built in Cobb County. It completed in 2007, on time and under budget. Several members of our Cobb Energy Center team are on your project, and I'm going to introduce them in a few minutes. A little bit about the progress. Rain. No. The center's about 25% complete. By the end of this month, you'll see the walls of the parking deck going up. Steel erection has begun, and we should top out steel in mid-April. We've experienced 18 to 20 days of rain, but we're working to get around that and maintain the schedule that we promised you. We're currently tracking to turn over the parking deck in early to mid-May. One of the things that was important to you and important to us was commitment to local contractors and suppliers. We're maintaining that commitment. We're currently working with local site work, utilities, ready-mix concrete, concrete subcontractors, lighting materials, and other. Our local suppliers and contractors will, by the end of the job, will have provided approximately 20% of this project, about $2.5 million worth of work being done by local folks. We anticipate having about 45 subcontractors and suppliers on this job that are bringing 500 construction-related jobs to this area, and we're proud of that. Now let me quickly introduce our Hardin team. Alex Henry is our project manager. Jurgen Cole is our superintendent. Tom Montañez, assistant project manager. Bill Smeltzer, general superintendent. Roger, you're not here on the job. Steve Bachman is my partner and project exec over this job. I want to thank the local businesses for working with us. We can't do a project like this without closing streets periodically, and you've been good neighbors, and hopefully we are being good neighbors to you. We're committed to do that, and we're looking forward to delivering a facility that will serve you for years to come. And thanks for letting Hardin be a part of this luncheon and part of your community. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Bill, and we appreciate your support in the community. Before we give thanks for today's delicious lunch, I would like to offer a special thank you to Roscoe and Sam's for catering. Now, I would like to ask Mr. Bill Osborne, Douglasville City Manager, to come forward and lead us in our invocation and pledge.
Let's stand, please. Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Heavenly Father, we come to you now in the name of your Son, Jesus. We're thankful, Lord, that we have the privilege of doing that. We're thankful that you hear our prayers, that you respond to our needs, that you watch after us day by day. Lord, I'm mindful that today is Valentine's Day, when in our own feeble way we try to say to each other that we love each other and that we show affection for each other here on Valentine's Day. Lord, we thank you that you made us your Valentine, that you loved us so much that you gave your Son for us, and that we can day by day live and move and have our being in you. Guide us and keep us day by day, and I pray a special blessing on each person here and each family represented. Guide us and keep us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It is now my pleasure to introduce today's guest speaker, Mayor Harvey Persons. As Mayor, Harvey Persons serves as the City of Douglasville's Chief Executive Officer. Mayor Persons grew up in Waycross, Georgia, where he attended Waycross High School and graduated in 1966. His education background includes studies at North Georgia Military College, DeKalb Junior College, and Georgia State University. He has served in the military and received his honorable discharge as Specialist E5 with the U.S. Army in 1970. Mayor Persons is a retired businessman with over 35 years of experience. During his business career, he received several business and sales achievement awards. Mayor Persons has served on the Douglasville City Council and chaired the Douglas County Planning and Zoning Board for 5 years. His dedication extends to his role as Sunday school teacher at Central Baptist Church. He also serves on various boards, including Habitat for Humanity and the Council for Battered Women, and has worked as a member through the Douglas County Mentor Program. He and his wife of 34 years, Sherry Persons, has called Douglasville, Douglas County, home since the mid-1980s. They have 3 adult children and 8 grandchildren. Please join me in welcoming Douglasville's new mayor, Harvey Persons.
I've lived here for 35 years and certainly have a passion and a love for Douglasville and Douglas County. I believe that we have everything that we need to be one of the premier places in America to live and to be a community that people all across the country could look at and say, you know, I'd like to live there. Look at the things that they have to offer. We've got transportation, we have a railroad, we have a major interstate highway bisecting our community. We have clean air, water, institutions of higher learning, educated workforce. We have technical training, technical schools. We have a regional shopping mall. We have excellent recreational facilities. We have excellent law enforcement. We live within 20 minutes of one of the largest metropolitan areas in the country and the busiest international airport in the world. For our community to be and become what we want it to be and become, we got to pull together. We got to work together. It's got to be a community, collaborative effort, working together, setting the goals, setting the objectives, and then that's when the rubber meets the road. Then we all got to go to work and make it happen. Douglasville's future is bright. The dream is as big as we want to make it. It's going to take all of us working together to make it become a reality. And as you can look around and see, there's a lot of empty seats. So I would encourage you, come join me, fill a seat, and together we will make it happen. That comes to you courtesy of CITI TV, and I'd like to thank Kelly Hunter and her staff for putting that together. And I told them yesterday when I first previewed that, I said, you know, I bet y'all can make a jackrabbit look like an elephant. So I want to thank you and the efforts that you made putting that together. And I did ask them also, I said, now, you know, I wasn't there, but I don't know where y'all or how you got that shot of that airplane taking off, but as long as we don't hear anything about it, you're okay. So they did a great job, and I applaud your efforts and thank you for it. First of all, let me tell you happy Valentine's Day. Today is Valentine's Day, and I hope most of the ladies got flowers and gifts and were showered with things, but happy Valentine's Day, and it's a good day outside. I'm absolutely delighted today that it's one of my first opportunities of mayor of the city of Douglasville is to talk to a local group of leaders concerning my vision for helping make this community one of the premier places in America to live and raise a family, and that is associated with the Douglas County Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for that opportunity, and I appreciate it very much. The fact that I'm doing so in downtown Douglasville in an old cotton warehouse that in its third life is serving as home for the downtown conference center makes it sweet. And the fact that as I speak, I can look across this room, across Church Street over there, and see rising before my eyes each day a much larger and higher quality new conference center makes it even sweeter today. Over 20 years ago, when I was a member of the Douglasville City Council, I would walk from O'Neill's clothing store, which is now City Hall, and the old Douglas County Courthouse, and the old Douglasville City Hall, which was right up the street, and would pass by a somewhat nondescript office building that once had been an old cotton warehouse, to which I referred to. What were the odds that a couple of decades later, the situation to which I pointed out, and in which we are in today, would be our reality and not just someone else's vision? And I wonder that if 20 years from now, I stand in the lobby of the new conference center across the street, which is now under construction, and look northward through the window and across Church Street, what will be the appearance of this place that we're in today? Do you have a vision for downtown Douglasville, Douglas County, and our community? And if you do, what is it? What is it? And are you willing to share your vision? A few months ago, when I was campaigning for the office of mayor, I told many people that I had a vision for this community. And that vision was to see this community, which I've called home for more than 35 years, become one of the premier places in America to live and raise a family. On more than one occasion, I was told that'll never happen in Douglas County. To which I responded, you're right. You're exactly right. It'll never happen in Douglas County, in Douglasville, with that attitude. So it's what kind of attitude do you bring forth today? What kind of vision are you willing to be a part of? What kind of vision are you willing to get involved in and share and make happen in Douglasville? I invite you to dream with me, to let us come up with a vision for Douglasville, Douglas County. The details will come later in the journey. First, there must be a willingness and a courage to be open to a vision forming in our hearts and our minds. And to my way of thinking, not to have a vision is to sell yourself short. You then have nowhere to go and no plan to get you there. And that's exactly where you will end up. Nowhere. So what do? How do you change that? Frankly, I believe the basic limitations which prevent us from fulfilling our dreams and our visions of individuals and as a collective group consist primarily of the limitations that we put on ourselves. We're the limiting factor for attaining the dreams that we can attain if we'll just do so. I'm reminded of that song some years ago, and now some of you are going to laugh at this because you don't have a clue what I'm talking about, and some of you are going to give your age away when you smile, and it was High Hopes. Some of you don't have a clue what I'm talking about, but looking across the room, I see some of the smiles, and you remember the song. But it was High Hopes. I have high hopes. And there are always skeptics and those who doubt our ability to succeed against seemingly huge odds. But I freely admit to being an optimist. And I am an optimist when it comes to this community because of the people who live here. I'm one of these people that truly, really believes you can sell ice to Eskimos. But you got to believe it. If you don't believe it, you can't. It won't happen. And with our citizens' commitment and dedication, with the foundation laid by past generations, and with the drive embodied in our young adults that are coming along, and with the strength and determination of those in my own generation, I'm confident our vision will become a reality. On January the 3rd of this year, when I stood in almost this exact same spot where I am at this moment, I did not have in place all of the details of my vision. But I did have the confidence then, and I have it now, that if others join me in developing a shared vision, and if we work together to make it happen, it will become a reality. But we've got to work together to make that happen. And I have the utmost confidence in this community and the people in this room that we come up with that shared vision and work together, it will become a reality. Development of a shared vision initially requires the sharing of thoughts and opinions, sometimes divergent from each other, and then requires collective molding and shaping of those thoughts and opinions. Today, all of us in this room come from different places and different points and times of life to get where we are today. But guess what? Collectively, we're here together. We all have different places that we come from that get us to this point. But just the group sitting in this room, there's a collective mindset and effort and ability and drive and determination that can help us accomplish things that I don't think we've even dreamed of yet. But we've got to work together to make that happen. The result is in our shared vision, and it includes something contributed by each and every one of us, as well as buy-in from all of us. And in any group, I think there must be a commitment and a willingness to see this process through to completion. You can't give up. You can't give up. I've heard it said, well, we've tried this before. We've tried it over and over. Well, guess what? Just because you've tried it doesn't mean that you quit trying it. You keep on until you see it to the completion, and then you embrace it. We're currently doing that in the city of Douglasville government. Last Thursday evening, all day Friday, and into late night and Saturday morning, I, members of the city council, and key staff members spent over 22 hours focusing on the start of development of a strategic plan for the city of Douglasville. We received many reports from staff, including past planning activities and their results. We talked about what we felt should be done in various areas and concerning various aspects of city government. and we discussed, considered, and individually positioned ourselves on many things pertinent to this community and its future. In my opinion, it was a healthy, constructive, and valuable 3 days, in spite of what some people said about it being a marathon endurance event, and that it was. But we got a lot accomplished. Everybody stayed committed to the task. Nobody left early. Everybody was committed, and everybody that was there participated. And I applaud your efforts and your willingness to be a part of that process. The city staff, the mayor, the council, the leadership stayed true to what we were there to do, and that was to work together to help develop a strategic plan that would move this city and this community forward. And I applaud your efforts. Many of you are in the room this morning or this afternoon, and I thank you for that commitment and that dedication and willingness to be a part of that process. I believe all of Douglasville's elected officials, all of them, and our staff members are committed to the development of a vision for our community which we and each and every one of you will be proud of, and which will be of value and guidance to the next generation and many generations yet to come. In the next part of my comments to you today, I want to share an example of why we need a vision and why we must not let the skeptics, and many they are, tear down our vision. Since we gathered together in downtown Douglasville, since we're here gathered in downtown Douglasville, let me talk about a vision for this part of our overall community and why we should embrace the idea of having a vision and working together to make it become a reality. Now, we all heard that downtown Douglasville, and I know all of you have heard this, were going to dry up and blow away a few decades ago when the churches relocated, or more recently when Arbor Place Mall opened. We heard it again when the county courthouse moved and when the city police department moved. You can see where I'm going with this. And we're hearing it again now as we move closer and closer and closer to the elephant in the room, and that is the move of the sheriff's office and jail. But downtown Douglasville has continued to survive. The commercial strip centers, which were built some years ago, as well as the mall, which was built some years later. And although our community and the state of Georgia, now listen to this, have experienced a significant economic downturn, listen now, occupancy rates in the central business district have remained relatively stable, high, and viable. City Main Street Manager Stephanie Allworth says the downtown development service area's current occupancy rate, for which it has 352 properties, is 87%. 87% occupancy rate. Yes, believe it or not, we'll miss the Douglas County Sheriff's Office and the jail when they move near the end of this calendar year. It'll be a challenge, but guess what? We'll meet the challenge. As Douglasville has continued to meet challenge after challenge after challenge, we'll continue to meet that challenge. Let me tell you some of the reasons I know Douglasville's historic downtown area will do far more than just survive. And in the process, I know we'll see just how important the central business district is in Douglasville. Just as in most towns and cities across the state and the nation. And I want to back up. I'm going to back up my statement with some hard facts and figures. This is not just me talking. There are facts and figures to back it up. And by the way, I want you to know that concerning downtown development, the city of Douglasville enjoys two of the brightest and best, not just in this region, but in Georgia, who daily work on issues and opportunities pertaining to downtown. In the state of Georgia, there are only a few people who have taken the training and who have met the criteria to be recognized as Georgia Downtown Development Professionals. Marcia Hampton, the city's Community Downtown Service Director, is one of only nine individuals in the state of Georgia who have achieved recognition as being a senior Georgia Downtown Development Professional Level 2. That's a mouthful, isn't it? Where's Marcia?
Hiding in the back.
Raise your hand. Stand up. One of only 9 professionals in the state of Georgia that's accomplished what she's accomplished. I think that says a lot about what the talent that we have in Douglasville. And Douglasville's Main Street manager, Stephanie Allworth, has now received her Level 1 designation. And let me also note that in obtaining her master's degree in public history from the University of West Georgia, the title of Miss Allworth's thesis was, listen to this, Setting the Stage, the Development of Douglasville's Historic Commercial District from 1875 to 1915. Where's Stephanie?
She's at another meeting.
Stand up. She's what? Stand up. Folks, like when I first started, I talked about the dedication and the commitment of the people in this room and the staff that the city has and the professionalism and what we have, the county, the talent that the county has to pull from, all of the business people that are here. We're fortunate with the talented people that we have in our community. Now, with that kind of talent and that kind of ability, folks pulling together, there's no telling what we can accomplish. Let me not... I've been told, stick to the script, stick to your script. Because I believe in this, as you do, or you wouldn't be here, because there's a lot of other things you could be doing today. But let me stick to the script, otherwise I'll get off and I'll go to preaching. So, but let me also note that in obtaining her master's degree in public history, I lost my place. Certainly, Stephanie is well versed on downtown Douglasville. She did her thesis on it. And we have a rich history, and we're going to promote it. Now, you say, well, what good is that? Where's that going to take us? What are we going to accomplish out of that? You know, we talked about economic development. We talked about jobs. That's the buzzword. That's what everybody's wanting to see. Well, what's this got to do with jobs? What's it got to do with economic development? What's it got to do with sustainability? I'm going to tell you. Investing in downtown development has returned tremendous dividends in Georgia. Douglasville is one of Georgia's 52 Main Street cities. In the past 30 years, in the Main Street cities who have a population, listen to these numbers now, of less than 50,000, and in the 40 smaller, better hometown towns, more than 9,700 new businesses and more than 49,000 new jobs have been created. And in the process, there was a total public and private sector investment of over $2.7 billion. Now, I don't know about where y'all come from, but where I come from in South Georgia, that's big dollars. Well, I think that's big dollars even in Atlanta. But it's also jobs. Last year, Douglasville's Main Street program reported 53 new jobs, 9 new businesses, and 7 building rehab projects with a value of over $680,000. All in a year of what? The continuing economic downturn and the doom and gloom that you hear from the media. When most people have thought downtown was declining. These are facts. These are figures. There's money in downtown historic development. There's jobs there, and it's sustainable. Importantly, downtown development traditionally has focused on historic preservation, and that is good. A 2011 report on Connecticut found that rehabbing one building rather than tearing it down represents a saving an embodied investment equivalent to, listen to this, 615,777 gallons of gas. Now multiply that times $3 and whatever it is it's going for today. And a Georgia study reported $1 million in output from rehabbing historic buildings, also created 18.1 jobs, while the same amount of money in output from automobile manufacturing created only 3.5 jobs. What's the difference? Downtown business districts, this is the difference, are the home of small businesses. And small business is what really is the heartbeat of America. Small business. People like you in this room that create and drive the economic engine that drives our country. Recently, I heard I was actually there and heard a nationally known economist speak, and he said, listen to these numbers, that 100% of all net job growth in America since December 2001 has been within firms employing fewer than how many people? 50. And on a cumulative basis, companies bigger than 50 employees have not added a single job in the past decade. A recent report from the Georgia Municipal Association included these statistics. 39% of the assessed value of property in Georgia is located within cities, which covers only 7% of the state's land area. 57% of the state's commercial property is located within cities. 64% of jobs in Georgia are located within cities, and the population of Georgia cities increases by 34% during the daytime hours due to commuters, and cities must provide services to both daytime and residential populations. Before I close, let me make 7 statements which underscore which we are doing in the city of Douglasville. First, we're in the process of developing and implementing our plan that will build on the national economic reports which show small businesses and historic preservation keep communities alive and vibrant while sustaining and creating new jobs. We're committed to the small entrepreneur business community, the people like you in this room that help drive America every day. Second, we'll work to implement our plan, which will capitalize on the, listen to this, $6+ billion historic preservation tourism industry in Georgia during 2010. $6 billion+. We will work to help make Douglasville a destination city. Third, housing will be an important part of the plan and will add value to existing real estate. And next, some of you have heard about this, the idea of a college in downtown Douglasville has been discussed and could be an integral part of that plan. We will continue to explore this idea and the potential it could create to help make downtown more viable and sustainable for many, many years to come. Fifth, all of these plans take money and cannot be funded by government, but need a public-private partnership working together with the same shared vision. When we were standing in line to eat a little while ago, one of our potential future business partners asked me, he said, "What can we do to help the city of Douglasville?" I said, "Funny that you ask. I just gave our city manager your card yesterday morning when we were meeting and asked him to get with him and talk about some things that we're looking at to enhance downtown Douglasville." So we'll be getting with him sometime soon. But we've got to continue to explore this idea and the potential that it creates for downtown. The public-private partnerships And what happens with that, there's got to be a sharing of that same common vision to make it work. 6, government needs to be a partner in helping create an environment to attract jobs. Government doesn't create jobs, folks. If government creates the job, it's not sustainable, it doesn't work, and it doesn't continue to help feed the country. We need the partnerships, and government needs to help facilitate that partnership. Finally, and I'm coming to an end, we will continue in the collaborative effort being facilitated by the Douglas County Chamber of Commerce. Where's Callie? Who's doing a fine job with that, I might add. And that's where the leadership of this community is coming together to work together collaboratively to help form a partnership to build on that vision, and then it expands beyond that. So I commend you, Callie, on the work that you're doing, and thank you for it very much. Certainly I admit, and if any of you hadn't guessed it by now, I'm passionate about those things which I believe in. And I believe very strongly in Douglasville and Douglas County. 12 years ago, I built a house. I said earlier that I could, no, I can't throw a baseball there now. Somebody said probably could have years ago, but not now. But I could walk there in about 5 minutes. I built a home downtown Douglasville 12 years ago, and when I built that home, what I did for a living, I could have lived anywhere in the Atlanta metropolitan area and did what I did to make my living. I chose to stay in downtown Douglasville and Douglas County and continue to be a part of this great community of which all of you live in and share. I've been fortunate enough to travel all over the world, and I keep coming back to Douglas County. Don't want to live anywhere else. I could, but I choose to live here and stay here. So certainly, like I said, I'm passionate about it, and I believe that we have the opportunity to help make Douglasville one of the premier places in America to live and raise a family. I have a vision for what we can become. Come join me and help make it a reality. Dreams are what real things are made out of. Dream big and achieve big things. I hope you'll join me in the development and then the fulfillment of the vision for our community, because working together, I know we will get the job done. Thank you. May God bless you, your family, and our great community. Thank you.
The Chamber's Business to Community Expo is April the 14th at the Arbor Place Mall. We are now taking exhibitors, so sign up now with Kimberly Weaver to get the best locations. Thanks again to the City of Douglasville for the use of the downtown Douglasville Conference Center, to Salmon Roscoe's for the great food, to Hardin Construction for sponsoring today's luncheon, and to Greystone Power for their naming sponsorship. Thanks to all of you for attending, and we look forward to seeing you next Thursday, February the 23rd, at the newly renovated Comfort Inn off of Fairburn Road for the AT&T Business After Hours. I hope everyone has a great afternoon.